Hello beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and in today's video I am very cold because my lovely little cat decides to lay on my vent that is on the floor, which is where the heat comes from, and she is absorbing all of it, so my room is freezing. Aside from that, today we are going to be doing the Do I Have That Book challenge, which the answer to most of these is yes. However, the answer to some of them is no. And this was super fun to put together and go through my bookshelf to figure out. I love watching people do these and I really wanted to do one of my own just because I think it's so fun. So that is what we are doing. Also, very exciting because it is finally snowing a little bit today, which is super cool. Literally, it's very cold. I don't love the cold, but I enjoy watching the snow from inside, so it is that time of year, and I am super duper excited to have all kinds of cozy content coming up for you guys. With that being said, I will have the book questions linked down in the description from the website that I got this off of. I got it off of Danny's Bookshelf, which is a blog, and in case you want to do that for yourself. That being said, once again, without any further ado, let us hop right into the video. The first question on this list is, do I have a book with deckled edges? And sadly, the answer to that is no. I love deckled edges. I think they're so fun, and I don't have any, and that makes me very sad. The second question, which is a little more lengthy, is do I have a book with 3 or more people on the cover? And the answer to that is an overwhelming yes. I have the Adventure Zone graphic novel by the McElroy brothers. And obviously there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people on the cover. Or characters, I suppose. They're not all people. And that applies to all of them. There are a couple of other books that I could have used to answer this question, but this is the first one that came to mind, and it fits. The third question on this list is, do I have a book based on another fictional story? And the answer to this is, again, yes. Right up here, I have ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is of course based off of Beauty and the Beast. So ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas does indeed fit this prompt. The next question, number 4, is do I have a book with a title 10 letters long? The answer to that is yes. It's right here. I have Icebreaker. The Icebreaker is of course 10 letters, count them, Icebreaker. 10 letters, Icebreaker. Love that book, by the way. 5-star read. It's super cute. I really enjoyed my time with it, and I definitely would reread it, and I do highly recommend it. If you need a cute little romance read, I do highly recommend picking up Icebreaker. Do I have a mass market paperback book? The answer to this is no, because it's not my favorite genre of romance at all, and it would not look cute on my shelf, so I don't have any. Next, question 7 is, do I have a book written by an author using a pen name? And the answer to this one is a no with a question mark at the end, because I don't that I'm aware of, but I also very well might and just not know it. Who knows? Do I have a book with a character's name in the title? I do. That is going to be down here. I have A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavalardo. Obviously, the character's name is Charlotte Holmes. Therefore, A Study in Charlotte does include the character's name. Do I have a book with 2 maps in it? And the answer to this, again, is yes. 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, of course, is back here. I will just pull out Crooked Kingdom because why not? There is, of course, map. 2 maps. Wonderful book once again. Highly recommend. Do I have a book that was turned into a TV show? I do. Down here again, and I've definitely talked about this before in a couple of different videos on this channel at this point, I have Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Love the book, love the TV series. It's definitely one of my favorite book adaptations to date that I have seen. It's a hilarious show. It's got David Tennant in it, which alone is incredible. And I'm very excited for season 2. Highly recommend both of the book and the TV show. It is a fun little read. I don't know if he's planning on writing a second book or not, since the second season will cover new material that was obviously not done in the book since the show ends at the book's conclusion. Who knows, but I would love some more content and I'm very excited. Neil Gaiman is great and I think it will be super good. Do I have a book written by someone who is famous for something other than writing? The answer to this one, again, is no, simply because I'm not a big fan of biographies or anything, autobiographies. It's not my favorite genre. And again, if I do have a book that's written by someone who's not famous for writing, and it's not an autobiography or anything, I am not aware of it. All I know them for is writing. But I could have, again, be very much wrong on this. Who knows? But to my knowledge, I do not. Do I have a book with a clock on the cover? I do. Once again, we are coming down to the bottom shelf, and that is going to be A Hand in the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This book, as you can see, has a clock on the cover. And it's very fitting because the hand in the wall, it's a good book. This is the second book in the Truly Devious trilogy, and I really enjoyed this trilogy of mysteries. I think they were super fun, and it was a really well done story. I really enjoyed them a lot. Do I have a poetry book? I do not have a poetry book on my shelf. I think I used to, but I believe that I left it at home when I moved back up to Missouri. Therefore, I do not have any poetry on my shelf, which is odd because I do enjoy poetry and I enjoy writing poetry and it's a fun experience, but I don't have any on my shelf. Do I have a book with an award stamp on it? I do, as a matter of fact. It is right here. Aristotle and Dante discovered the secrets of the universe. There is 4 award stamps on it, and they make me so mad because this cover would be so pretty without them on it, and I wish I could take them off, or they would put them inside or something that doesn't take away from the cover. But I digress. Yes, Aristotle and Dante discovered the secrets of the universe does in fact have award stamps on it, and once again, an incredible book, 5 stars, really loved my time with it. You should pick it up. And I believe there is a second one. Do I have a book written by an author with the same initials as me? Now my initials are L and C, and I do not on my shelf have a book written by an author with the same initials, unless you're okay with flipping them, because if you are, down on this bottom shelf, I have the Furyborn trilogy written by Claire Legrand, which is C and L. So if you flip them, then they do have the same initials as me. But if you don't count that, then no, I do not. Do I have a book of short stories? Shockingly enough, because I don't really read short stories, I do. But down here on this bottom shelf, or second to bottom shelf, I suppose, I have this book with a gorgeous cover of supernatural horror stories. And these are a collection of short stories in a beautifully bound book. Do I have a book that is between 500 and 510 pages long? This one took quite a bit of searching to find. However, way up top here, I have The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare and a few other people, and it is 508 pages long. Do not ask me how many books I had to go through to find one that fit that criteria, but yes, I do. The Bane Chronicles was a fun read. I can definitely see how people would not enjoy it. I didn't love the last story, but I can just pretend that it didn't happen, and I know it gets better later on anyway, so it's fine. But 4 stars for that one. Enjoyed it. Probably wouldn't read it again, but it was a fun read. Do I have a book that was turned into a movie? And that, again, is yes, I have several, but shockingly enough, the first one that came to mind was down on this bottom shelf. I do have the Divergent series, which was turned into several movies, and I don't honestly say that I recommend them. That's all that I'm gonna get into on that one. That might be a video in and of itself. Second to last, I have, do I have a graphic novel? And I did already pull one out in this video, but I do have a couple. So I have my Adventure Zone graphic novels, I have my Heartstopper graphic novels, and I have my Check Please graphic novels, all of which I would highly, highly, highly recommend. Although for the Adventure Zone, I would more so recommend listening to the podcast because it's just so entertaining. And then the graphic novels sort of just add an extra layer to that. They're very good and they're very true to the podcast, but the podcast is hilarious. The McElroy brothers are so funny, and I love their content, and I love the Adventure Zone. If you love D&D and nerdy things, definitely give it a whirl. And then Heartstopper, of course. Heartstopper. Everyone knows Heartstopper. It's super cute. It's amazing. It's adorable. I love it. I cannot wait for the next season to come out on Netflix. Very exciting stuff. And then finally, I have Check Please. I'm just going through all of my graphic novels because why not? Check Please is kind of similar to Icebreaker, which is why I have them right next to one another. But it is about hockey players in college, and it is also a love story, kind of. It's super hilarious and super cute, and it is also online for free if you don't want to purchase the graphic novels, although I do recommend supporting the author because her content is amazing and I love it. But definitely give Check Please a read as well. It's one of my favorite stories. It's so fun. I love it. Our final question, we just breezed right through these, I feel, is do I have a book written by 2 or more authors? And the answer to that is yes, I have a couple. I do have, to call back to earlier, the Bane Chronicles, which is written by a few different authors. But since I don't want to repeat books, down here on this bottom shelf, I have this book called Loki's Wolves by K.L. Armstrong and M.A. Marr. This I don't have the dust jacket for anymore because I got this book when I was in like 3rd grade, I think. But I remember really enjoying it, so I just brought it with me for sentimental value. I would love to find the dust cover one day, but if I don't, that's fine. But this book does have 2 authors. Fun, fun stuff. And that is going to conclude this edition of Do I Have That Book Challenge? This was a super fun video to make. I really enjoyed going through my bookshelf and quizzing myself on if I have these books. I think it's super fun, and it's definitely given me like an introspect into how I read compared to other people, kind of, sort of, because I got to see other people's answers to this question, and it's very similar. But I also found out that I don't read a very wide genre of books, which I kind of already knew, but this kind of pointed it out to me in a more severe way. But that's okay, because reading is supposed to be fun, and I only read books that I really enjoy, so there we have it. And there you have it. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. You should definitely hit that subscribe button to stick around because I do post content twice a week and I would love to have you back. I would love to have you join the family. You should like the video because it's easy. You should comment because it makes me smile. And I will see you guys in the next one.